Hi guys, welcome back to Geeks Wargaming and this showcase video. So those of you that have been watching the channel over the past few weeks and months will notice that we've been having more of a push towards some bolt action. That's not because we're planning on sort of moving away from 40k. It's just we're exploring other avenues, and myself and Richard have both been really enjoying bolt action. So with that, obviously, you get a lot of excitement around the game and the miniatures. Myself and Richard are both really into our histories. We're not historians, but you know, we've got a good interest in sort of Second World War in particular. So it's really sort of captured our imagination, so to speak. So as you probably know, I have been focusing more on the Germans, and Richard has been focusing on the Americans. The last battle report that we put up, I'd got half of this squad completed, but not obviously fully completed. So what we've got in front of us now is the full 10-man squad. As I said, we are interested in our history, but we aren't historians, so we're not rivet counters. So what I've got in front of you represents Waffen-SS as a gaming piece for me. I haven't sort of looked to see if, you know, they've got the exact amount of assault rifles or whatever equipment that they had in that time period. That's not the way that I'm planning on playing at the moment. This is just basically within the restrictions of the rules. So I've gone for the force like this. So without further ado, I'll start bringing up some of the miniatures. So first of all, we have this, as I smack my hand on the table. We have the first of the assault rifles guys. This entire unit, I've actually used quite a lot of the Citadel contrast paints just to get sort of the colours down quickly, and then I've put a few washes over the top. It's come out with this effect. So the green that you see on the trousers, the black and the browns, they're all Citadel contrast, and that was just one coat over the, I think it's the Sea Grey, I believe it's called, spray can, which I have to say is a really, really good product. And then after putting those contrast colours down, I've given the strong tone wash over the whole miniature. And then I've gone on to the camouflage on the jackets. So the jackets were actually based with a I think it was Steel Legion drab, which is sort of like a darkish tan colour, and then I've come in with some different shades of green and some different shades of brown to get this kind of P dot camouflage going on. As I said, it's not historically accurate in any way. It is just a gaming piece, but I think this is a good representation of a Waffen-SS squad for gaming and tabletop purposes. So that's the assault rifle. I've then got a Panzerfaust, because I like blowing up Richard's tanks with these, as you've seen. Just giving him the rifle slung over the shoulder. This one, the only contrast paint is the black and the brown, and then the helmet was with the green, and the end of the Panzerfaust itself is contrast, and the rest was just normal paint. But yeah, just blotched on the colours. Really, really quick paint job on all of these, but I think it's quite effective. Just by putting a couple of washes, really sort of ties the whole squad together. We have the NCO. I've given the NCO an assault rifle, and I've given him the soft cap, just so he's easily identifiable on the battlefield when playing. But also I've stuck a helmet onto his backpack there, just so you know it looks like he's not going to get shot in the head, and he's not being stupid by not walking around without a helmet on like most Space Marine sergeants do. So that is the NCO. The skin colours, I again used the contrast. I think it's the Guilliman contrast paint, Guilliman skin tone, and then I went over it with a white Reichland Flesh Shade wash, and then I have just gone over it with Cadian Flesh Tone, just on sort of areas like the nose and any of the raised areas, just to sort of bring those back up again so you can see it a bit better on the fingers. I really like this guy. Obviously he's got the LMG, he's got his ammunition, I presume that is, and I really like this helmet with the extra leaves for the camouflage in that. So there is the LMG, and then his loader with the bullets round his neck. He's got some entrenching tools and all the kit around the back there, and then just his rifle. Moving on to the back row, so the second of the Panzerfaust. And I went for the grey scheme on the helmet there, so that is just Mechanicus standard grey, and then a strong tone wash over it, no highlighting or anything like that. There is a little bit of a sheen to these, so that's just sort of come naturally from all the washes that I've put on there. I am, now that I've seen how much of a sheen there is on camera, I'm going to hit these with a matte varnish through the airbrush, so I'll do that at a later date. Another assault rifle, and he has the helmet with the netting on there, and a complete set of camouflage. I've kind of gone for something loosely based on, I think it was the P-Dot camouflage, the sort of the spring colouring, I guess, or oak leaf colouring, I think it was something like that. I can't remember exactly. I just saw a few pictures and I've tried to represent it closely but not perfectly accurate, because there's so many different, when I was doing my Google searches, there's so many different things, your mind gets blown, so I just thought I'll go with whatever I think looks good on the table, so that's what I've done. This guy running along, giving him just proper big black boots, and then the traditional helmet there as well with the goggles on it. He's an assault rifle, so he's just charging into cover or something like that, ready to lay down some covering fire for his buddies. Then we've got the loader for the second of the LMGs. I've given him some binoculars, so he's more like he's spotting. However, the reason why they've given him the loading duties is because obviously he's seen a bit of combat and he's got a bit of a poorly eye, so I'm not sure giving him a set of binoculars was a good idea, but hey, it's just to make the model look a little bit more interesting, doesn't it? And he's got, I think this is the is it the barrel cleaner for the LMG, or is it a spare barrel or something like that? I don't know. Comments down below, let me know what that piece is, but it seems that anybody that is either carrying an LMG or is the loader I've seen with this piece of equipment on the back, so I thought, well, I'll copy that. And then the last guy in the squad is the second of the LMGs, just walking along, waving to some of his buddies as he's walking along. I don't know, maybe directing traffic or something, you know. So that is him. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this squad has come out. The basing was a really simple process. It was just using Citadel's Sterling Mud, which is like a textured paint, and then did absolutely nothing with it, just let it dry, and then I've just put some tufts. These are ones which I get from an eBay store, and I just buy them in bulk because you get it a lot cheaper then. And I've just put a few different tones on there. Again, gives it a little bit more interest and kind of blends in with the camouflage as well. So quite happy with how they've all turned out. In terms of the time to paint these, it took me hardly any time at all. As I said, I was using contrast paint quite a lot, and that really helped speed up the process. I think with contrast paint, I know there's been an awful lot about contrast paint online. But for me personally, I wasn't sure whether it was going to be useful for me, so I kind of used it on these as a bit of an experiment, and it is useful for me. It's really helped to speed me up with my painting. I am a reasonably accurate painter, and I think that is key to using contrast paints. If you're somebody that you know that you overspill and you have to do a lot of touch-ups, contrast probably isn't the product for you. It's probably just better just to use normal paint, and correct as you go, as you have been doing. But if you're somebody that you know you paint quite tidy anyway, then contrast is a great product. I've got another squad of these to do, which I want to add into the Germans. In fact, I've got the box set of 30, but I've made a couple of commanding officers, so lieutenants, out of them, and attendants. So I think I'll have two 10-man squads of Waffen-SS, and then I'll have some other sort of slightly converted miniatures out of the rest for all of those extra sort of HQ, like your spotters, your medics, and stuff like that. So that's what I'm planning to do with the rest. There is an awful lot of new German stuff which we'll be adding soon. So this is the first in many of these showcase videos. The next video you see around the Germans is probably actually going to be showing you what I have, what I'm planning on adding. I actually managed to get a bit of a job lot of German stuff, so there's lots of interesting stuff in there, so I really want to show you guys that. But that's in another video. There's lots and lots of bolt action stuff still to come, so I think Richard is going to be doing a video similar to this on the Americans and what he's got planned. So again, we've picked up a bit of a job lot of Americans too, so certainly keep an eye on the channel to watch those things if that's what you're interested in. But thanks for watching, guys. I think I've rambled enough as usual. So remember to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and leave us a like on this video. It really helps us out. Throw some comments down below. Do you like this? Is this a good representation of Waffen-SS camouflage? Any tips that you can give me? I'm thinking with the second squad, do I maybe go with one of the autumn themed camouflage patterns? Was that even a thing? Did you have sort of mixed units with mixed colours of camouflage? Reference photos that I've seen seems to suggest that yes, but I just don't know. So any of you history buffs down there that could answer that would be really useful if you could stick me a comment down below. And anything around sort of the equipment at the time, or any little tips that you can give me around that would be really, really useful. So I'd look forward to hearing from you in the comments there. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.